The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
1420 Sports Bar Podcast, for beer sports talk and a whole lot more. Join host Brent Radlinsky as he bellies up to the bar and gets the conversation going that'll make you think you're sitting in your local watering room. It's sports, beer, and shenanigans, so sit back, grab a few beers, and let's get in. The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, for beer sports talk and a whole lot more. Tonight's show, as always, brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code BellyUpSports and save yourself $20 on your first purchase. We are part of that Belly Up Media Network. Go to BellyUpSports.com for all of your podcast needs and other and great articles out there for the sports world. Tonight we are joined by Aaron Riley. It's been a while, Aaron. How you doing, sir? Talk a little baseball. How's things?
Yeah, pretty good. Now we're I know your guys' winter is more chaotic than ours, but we're trekking through. And as much as I like winter for a certain amount of time, I'm kind of over it. And now with the classic going on, I mean, it's like we're turning the corner as far as the baseball season. So.
Yeah, it is that point where people can finally stop talking about whatever's going on in football and free agency and everything else. And I'm not the biggest football guy. I'm not going to lie to you about that. I mean, some people are. If there was more off-season college football talk, I'd talk about it more. But the World Baseball Classic. I was on a show on Saturday morning. Sorry, and it's odd. I mean, it's been happening since 2008. I think is the first one it was, and having meaningful baseball like this in March, it's odd, but it's great. Like it was great. We'll go with that game last night. Actually, let's talk about this. Is the World Baseball Classic? Is it great for baseball, or is it like an interruption? Or what's your thoughts on the World Baseball Classic in general?
Yeah, I think I do think the positives outweigh the few negatives. I would say just because. Yourself and I, we've talked at nauseum, like the game needs to expand. The game needs more eyeballs. Like this is, I mean, when's the last time? I don't even think opening day will, I mean, it might gain more eyeballs across, each independent team and whatnot. Yeah. But as like a collection of people watching, I think it's great. And like right before you get it in right before March Madness, which just like how you are with football, I'm like not anti March Madness, but I could care less. I mean, like, maybe I'll watch the Final Four or something, but like, I don't care, So this being right in March where there's kind of a dead period of obviously no football and then spring training, like I can only kind of deal with so much like number 88 out there and second base and whatnot. So, I mean, you see all the guys, Judge, Gunnar Henderson, Bobby Witt, all these guys that you're like good, upper echelon, players. In meaningful game and like the crowd's going crazy and the celebrations when these guys hit a home run. Like I think it's as much as I wasn't, super high on it going in, I've been easily like converted to like enjoying it. So
it's so great to me. It's because you get into the winter, you're getting another winter doldrums a little bit, and you get into baseball, and they're playing indoors, and they're playing across some games are at 3 a.m. here, so obviously I'm not watching them. I mean, I do get up and tune in because I'm an old man, so I get up pretty early. But it's I think it's fantastic the way it all gets put together, and it brings the baseball world together a lot. The U.S. team, they've had their flaws. They haven't been outstanding by any means. They have. I don't think the team in general has been playing to the numbers in the back of their baseball cards by any means. But they find themselves in the final, and sometimes talent gets you there. But sometimes it doesn't. What's been your take so far on the American team? And I want to. I'll ask you that first, but I want to. One of the negative things about the World Baseball Classic that I think you kind of alluded to, that some guys don't get to play very much. But what's been your take on the American team thus far?
Yeah, I mean, I to your point, I think they've had their weaknesses, like you said. Their bats haven't come completely alive the way I thought. I mean, obviously some of these teams, like the very poor teams, you kind of see it, but even against like not taking a shot at Canada, I don't think they're elite talent. I think kind of the bats have surprised. I mean, I think the pitching's been solid. I mean, even the bullpen last night, they went 4 or 5 innings, maybe gave up
Yeah.
1 run or none. So with the collection of like the Yankees pitcher Bednar, that longtime Pirate, obviously Mason Miller shutting the door, other guys in the mix there, but I don't know. I think they've done kind of just enough, which, like you said, I mean, the talent I think has been what's gotten them there. I really thought that game last night was going to go to extra innings once. Shoot, I can't remember the guy's name, but he ends up on Julio Rodriguez ends up on second. Mason Miller's kind of throwing the ball all around. Will Smith behind the plate, to his credit, I mean, he saved them from going to third at one point and everything else. So, they've done just enough. I still think they can win the whole thing. Like, it doesn't concern me going in. I wish, obviously, Paul Skenes could take the ball again, because I feel good every time he's on the mound out there. But yeah, I think the USA team has that fire in them, and not that, if it's Venezuela or whatnot, but that doesn't. I do trust this USA team to get it done.
They kind of got a favor when Japan lost the other day, and then they're having a tough game. But you mentioned Paul Skenes, and now maybe it's just different contract years, and this is kind of came to my head. Skenes isn't in the contract year, but he still has a $1 billion arm when it comes down to it. And then you had a guy and this guy all of a sudden hasn't been my favorite, Tariq Skubal. Basically saying, well, I'll pitch the one game and you're under and I get it. He's probably going to make $70 million a year next year. He's going to make $39 million this year, but he kind of just hangs around. But he pitched in a meaningless spring training game yesterday. He could find a way to do that yesterday, but he couldn't pitch in the World Baseball Classic. I get it. But, I mean, two things can be true, right? I get it, and I got another two things can be true as well. But Skubal, just the way he kind of made this about himself a little bit, and because he's a Boris client, and Boris finds a way to do that, because that's how Boris boosts his client slot, and you got to give the guy credit. But Skubal just having the one game and then saying, yeah, I got to go back and do the exact same thing that I'm doing in Texas compared to what I'd be doing in Florida. I don't understand what the heck the difference is. Yes, there might be a day and a day's grace between opening day and the way it all works, and these major league teams think they know how these guys' arms work better than everybody else. But what's your take on Skubal going, yeah, I can only do the one game, because if it was me, I'd have been like, okay, then don't bother. Because we got 1,000 guys who can throw. Like, he's one of the best in the game, obviously. What's your take on Skubal? Just having the one game and saying, "Yeah, I'm good."
Yeah, I absolutely hate it. I mean, I'm completely against with what he's doing. I mean, sure, you can make the argument he's going to go to that spring training game and maybe he throws 80%. Like, he's just going to work on probably something in comparison to where every pitch in the World Baseball Classic, it's almost like a playoff game where it matters and you're trying to hit your spot. Maybe it's not as precise in, a spring training exhibition, whatnot. But yeah, I mean, to your point, if you're going to pitch just the one game and that's it, like, don't show up at all, because like these guys, I mean, you got guys, Aaron Judge running around all the, the outfield. You got everybody else, like Will Smith behind the plate last night could have easily gotten hurt multiple times. Like, that's just, I'm trying not to curse, but it's a load.
Oh, go ahead. I don't care.
It's horse shit to me. Like, it's bush league.
That's not even a swear word anymore. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, if you're gonna sign up, my thing is, like, if you're gonna sign up for this deal and they ask you to pitch, you know what I mean? Like, and he could take the because he's gonna take the mound opening day, and he could blow his rotator cuff out then. So
yeah,
I don't want to hear it. Like, it's a privilege to kind of pitch on a team like this, and if you get hurt, like, as a result, you can get hurt you could get hurt in a bullpen session, in spring training still. Like, there's still weeks of spring training left. So that's just, I like the guy going in now. Now I have a sour taste as far as, like, I'm not rooting for him. I'm not. So.
Yeah, you hear, like, I'm around the game a lot, and you hear about a lot of the injuries. A guy feels a tweak in a bullpen, and it's elbow. You're one pitch away from disaster at all times. And for him to make it about himself, I think that was a bit of a kick in the pills for the rest of his teammates and for guys who were maybe on the outside looking in. Yeah, you're not Tariq Skubal. You could be whoever. But for Skenes to go out there and make 2 starts, he's a few years younger, and he went out there and he could have done the same thing. But he went out. I thought it was weak. I thought it was very weak for him to say I'm and just how much press it got. And it's not his fault, but it actually is because Boris leads this stuff. Like Boris finds a way to make it about his clients to drive the price up, and that's his job. But I just thought it was real weak cheese for Skenes or Skubal to, and then to show up in uniform last night, like F off. See, I got away from just saying that. That would have been me if I'm the management team or if I'm the team. Like, you know what, you were good for one, get out of here. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him because I guess that Meredith from the Yes Network has been down there, and I saw on Twitter earlier, her talking to him, and he's like, yeah, I couldn't not show up for the guys. Well, you did not show up for the guys because your presence really means that much to them. Like now you're almost making it about yourself twofold to me. Like,
you think Bryce Harper and Aaron Judge are caring who's giving them a high five after the game last night?
Not probably looking at this guy like you.
All right, man, you were here 2 weeks ago. I don't know, like whatever.
If I'm Harper or Judge or whoever, I'm like, I can't wait to take this guy yard in the regular season. Like at that point,
yeah.
And show it to him a little bit, like trot around the bases a little slower or something. Like I understand from an injury perspective, but to your point, like we've already said, you're one pitch away, and like I just think it is not everybody's getting invited to this thing. You know what I mean? So it's an opportunity. It's like more meaningful than even like a bowl game in college football where it's like, well, this bowl game doesn't, like, I can be less mad at those guys, in my opinion. I mean, there's been guys on the record saying they'd rather win a World Baseball Classic than a World Series. Now, I don't know about that. That's up to the individual.
You see what's going on, like with we'll get in Dominican right now. Dominican, like they had one of the, I'd say one of the best offensive teams ever assembled, and Skenes shut them down last night. But they're playing for their country, and it's big. Like you talk about playing for your country and how Canada came up short to the Americans there a few weeks back. And if you talk about Skubal, it'd be like Sidney Crosby saying, "Yeah, I'll play against the Ukraine, or I'll play, but I'm not playing the other ones. It's a little bit too hard for me." It's just odd. It's just they're different sports, but it's a bad. Yeah. But you look at Dominican, how they and then they lost last night 2-1 in a great baseball game. You had Tatis getting thrown out at third base, I think in the 5th inning by Judge, and they had runners on base. Didn't hit it well because they had stuff going on. Great game. Like, it was a great game, and you had Severino starting the game, ex-Yankee, and he walked a couple of guys, but he got out of jams, and it was a 2-1 ball game. It was all said and done. A pitch that probably wasn't a strike to end the game. Whatever, it happens. But Juan Soto after the game, whether it was a full clip, and you sent me the screenshot off of Twitter earlier on today. Juan Soto, and he said this: "We show the world the best team in baseball. That's all I got to say." 2 things can be true. Once again, I thought when I was on No Credentials Required on Saturday morning, I thought the Dominican was going to wipe the floor of the Americans. I really did. I thought that offense was going to be great, but it didn't happen. So it was wrong. Did the U.S. win yesterday? Yeah. So 2 things can be true. I thought the better team. I thought the better team going into last night's game was the Dominican. I thought that the U.S. won, so they were the better team that night. 2 things can be true, Aaron. I know we had on a group chat there with E-Man and Jim, the fan of the van there, and they were. But two things can be true. Am I wrong on that?
No, I mean, I just think because I actually had another group chat aside with a couple buddies, and they're, the one guy was defending Juan Soto, and I'm like, you're out. Like, if you say this before the game, that's one thing. But like to say, and I understand the viewpoint of like they might be the better team, but my point is like I don't care I care who wins. You know what I mean? Like that's who. And the whole thing of him saying that after is just like, just hold the loss, man. Like I don't know that. I think that's so sour grapes. Like that's like, sure, you might be the better team, but it doesn't matter at all. Like if the Yankees are the better team versus the Dodgers or vice versa in the World Series, no one's got like at the end of the day who won the who's bringing home the trophy. So it's like I just Juan Soto to me has always irritated me, and that's just added chalk it up to another on the list.
Yeah, like there's some time, and who knows, like what you sent me in the clip, I didn't hear it. I don't know if he even said it in English. I have no idea. I don't know. But did he get clipped? Was it this part? Was it no? Sure. Like I don't know. You're not going to do any research on it. I'm not going to do any research on it. It's just I agree. But sometimes when you lose, you just say, like a simple quote could have been, "We lost tonight. They got us by a run. We made a mistake. They got because there's only all the runs were home runs. There was 3 runs in the game, and they got one more better swing than we did, and that's it. And just say something like that. Like when you lose, you got to find a way to lose with grace. I think that's a big thing that a lot of these athletes today don't get. That like winning with grace is huge, but losing with grace is even bigger at times, because if you lose, you lose. They were the better team. They got you that night. Are they the better team overall in a 7-game series? Who knows? But in the way the tournament's set up, you got one shot and the other guys won. And that's pretty simple. And there's ways, and it's surprising that these guys don't have more media training, or they're just so
heat of the moment
or maybe arrogance about things. They don't get it. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I just keep going back to him. I do enjoy the play. Like Aaron Judge to me is like, I mean, borderline Jesus. Like he just doesn't. He does everything the right way, so I shouldn't hold everybody to that standard, I guess.
But you can.
What's that?
But you can. Like you actually can. Okay, if do things this way. Like if he's not doing it, don't do it. Like just quit it. Shut up.
And right? Even if like I wouldn't even had a problem, because I'm not saying I probably would be far from how Aaron Judge carries himself. If I was in, I'd be running maybe Brett Gardner. That's more appropriate. But even if Juan Soto said, "Hey, if we played this game 7 times, I think we come out," or if we play this game 10 times, I think we come out on top 7. I would have less of a problem with that than saying we're the better team, because you're not. Like you weren't when it mattered. So like that's what matters, Like that was so like, and to your point, we might have got clipped out. I really will have to find it at some point. I think it's just probably not. But I hate seeing Juan Soto on the screen anyway. So
yeah, I just think you can. There's just ways you could go about saying things. And you lost. I mean, it's. I was cheering for Dominican because I thought it would have been more. It would have been more entertaining with the fan base and stuff. And it's not a Canada, U.S., nothing political at all. I just think that the Dominican, they were putting on a better show. I really think that it was entertaining. And I used to be an anti-bat flip guy, but holy cow, when they're hitting home runs and they're salsa dancer, I think it's entertaining as hell. I really, and this comes from an old guy, baseball purist. I thought it was entertaining as hell the way that they were, and the fans were behind and everything else. I think it was great. It was great.
How would you feel if that, like, because I've heard Michael Kay talk about that, like if it transitions into I guess a Tuesday night, if the Yankees are like your Yankees are playing the A's, and Volpe does a crazy bat like that, might, I don't know, like does it have to be at the right moment to act that way is what I'm saying.
Think it does. I think if you hit a walk off and the crowd's a little bit behind you, but if you're doing so I obviously didn't listen, but if you're doing a walk off in Oakland on a Tuesday night and you're flipping the bat and doing cartwheels around, you should probably take a lap.
I'm not even going that far. Like it's the top of the 4th inning and Volpe finally gets into one, and
you can't bat flip in the 4th.
That would be a bad. Yeah,
you cannot bat flip in the 4th. It's got to be meaningful. It's got to mean something. I was watching this college game yesterday, and there was a guy, he bat flipped. I think it was Texas Tech. I think it doesn't matter. He did a big bat flip, and the wind got it, and it was about 5 feet in front of the warning track, and he was out. Like, don't. It's got to mean something. You have to bat flip and celebrate if it means something for your team, not for the individual. Just because you did something great, because a home run's a home run, but you could hit a home run when it's 19-2 and make it 19-3. You can't bat flip for that. Like, you're a nozzle, and that would kind of be who the how today's athlete is a little bit. They're very for themselves, but yeah, you can't bat flip when it has to mean something for the team in a big moment, not on a Tuesday in Chicago when they're playing the White Sox.
Yeah, I mean, on a walk, I would say during the regular season, maybe a walk-off would be the only way. And then the playoffs, like, even then, I mean, if it's a late inning, like an eighth, you're down 2 and you hit a 3-run shot, maybe then. But, like, you can't, like you said, I mean, during the regular season, I think only a walk-off would suffice, like, a bat. Like, I don't see any other.
And it depends what your record is.
If you're the Rockies, that might be.
You can't bat flip ever. Ever. Like, if you're losing 110 games, you can't bat flip ever. Like, that just should be a definite rule. It's a great event, but it's during spring training, and you have guys on pitch counts and the rules and if Aaron Riley was put in charge of World Baseball Classic, one, would you have it at the same time of year? 2, what would you do to improve it?
Yeah, that's interesting, because I don't know. I've heard the argument of, like, I don't know when else. So obviously October, you get through the World Series. Like, do you do it in December? Give the guys a month, but then
no one cares.
That too, and now you're in the NFL playoff window and the college football, and it's just competing with Goliath, like the NFL Goliath. It's not what you want to do, unfortunately. But I just don't see where else you could you can't put it during the regular season of the MLB. That would be even like, people would have an uproar, which understandably so. I kind of like where it's at. Like, I know it's not a perfect situation because of the pitch count, but it almost makes it more interesting. Like, now you're throwing in 4, 5, 6 guys out of the bullpen, and, like,
that's actually a good point.
Chaos, what's going to happen? Who's going to become unglued? And I mean, thankfully for the U.S. last night, and even the DR, right? So the nobody really got annihilated, which could have, like you say all the time, the more arms are involved, it could easily go that way.
Yeah, it has
likelihoods, on that side. So.
Yeah, I get you got these billion-dollar arms, and you got these owners who don't want their guys getting hurt, but I don't just.
It's not every year either. That's the thing. Like,
yeah, I and you can't. The only way you could make this more interesting, I think, and it'll never happen, is if you shorten the Major League Baseball season to 144, and then you get the spring, and you get the World Series done middle of October, and then do it right after that. Other than that, you're screwed, because you're still battling with football no matter what. And so I don't know if there's any other time they could do it, because you're not shutting things down in the middle of the season and having 162 still, because then you're sending the Major League Baseball season into middle of November, end of November, when it's all said and done. Like, hockey did it with the Olympics, but they compress the schedule, and they're playing like 2 and 3 days and for 3 and 4, which they didn't do. But baseball already does that. So there's no other time really to do it, in my opinion. I don't know. Like, I think the event's great. Does it need to have a bit of refurbishing? Yeah. It's you lose a lot of games, a lot of eyeballs, but maybe they don't need our eyeballs to watch the games over in Japan. I don't know. But it needs a little more push. Would I like to see a best 2 out of 3 for the final? Yeah, but who pitches? And that's the thing. Like, if the U.S. goes tomorrow, who pitches on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday? Then this guy, here's our opening day starter, because we've been selling tickets for this guy to be the opening, like Skenes. Is he still scheduled to start on opening day for the Pirates? There's so many moving parts, and it all comes down to pitching. Like, Judge will play, and Harper will play, and this guy will play, but the pitching, who's going to pitch, right? It's I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, I really don't have a major like I don't look at this as like, oh man, MLB is completely, screwing this up where I thought in certain situations like they've completely just the way they, we've talked about the way they market the game and the lack of marketing and things like that. And I like this is I'm not gonna say close to perfect, but like to grow the game, especially like in the Spanish communities, I think, and like the Japanese, like I would like to see the ratings on this, but I gotta think like I've in years past even I just think this is the most talked about thing in March so far. I mean, obviously March Madness will completely wipe the table of this once it starts, but I mean, for a period where nothing else has really gone on before, I think like that's perfect for baseball. Like, okay, you needed something like this because especially like 2027 is looming and everything else. So it's like I just I'll take the negatives and just toss them to the side for something like this.
Yeah, I agree, Aaron. There isn't a ton of negatives with this thing. Like it's like in Canada here, we got to play on a Friday night on prime time versus the Americans, and we're one hit away from tying the thing up in the seventh, and it was pretty great. And there was some local guys that I've been looking up in the field with the tug. I'm sure you heard the tugboat phenomenon. He's a great kid, and I've known him for a number of years. And it was a great event for other countries that aren't the U.S. And I think that's something that has to. And this isn't a shot. Like for the game to grow, especially Major League Baseball, it has to grow outside the United States. It's huge in other countries. And I think that the rest that not the rest of the world. I think North America has to realize how big the game is outside of North America and accept that a little bit. And these guys are good. Like there was Hall of Famers 1 through 7 last night playing for Dominican. Like they're really good players. And like the greatest player in the world allegedly is Shohei Ohtani. And he didn't even make the finals, right? So no, I think the event is fantastic, and it doesn't get enough. And I think that it just because it gets caught in certain things, and as great as it is, baseball still doesn't do enough to promote it, which is odd to me. Like they still don't do enough because it's great. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, I don't watch a lot of just regular television per se, but I don't see like if the NFL playoff if you get on social media and like the NFL playoffs are going on, it's like ad here, click as soon as you start a video there, it's like you're bombarded by it. I think baseball needs to like put the foot on the pedal per se, like with advertising, like just throw everything at the wall and see like, I mean, just the atmosphere. Like you can
if you
take
throw enough shit in the wall, something bound to stick.
Yeah, I mean it's like they're going this far. Why not go like you're going 7/10 of a mile, go the whole mile? Like I just that's always kind of been baseball's like MO though, and like why should it surprise us? I guess it does, or maybe it doesn't, or it disappoints us. But it's yeah, they need to. I mean, I think maybe coming off this one, then I know we'll have to wait another 3 years, which is strange. It's not 4 or not 2. It's like an odd baseball
number. There's probably a contract in there somewhere. They got to have this guy and that guy, whatever it is. But yeah.
But yeah, it's and I'm looking. I haven't been able to watch as much as I've wanted to, but tomorrow, like you bet I'll be watching tomorrow night. So
yeah, I'll be tuned in down here for sure. Talking about like moving to the Major League Baseball season and free agency and everything else and players and nothing's really moving the needle this year. And the Phillies are just doing the Phillies thing. Kind of we have our team and we're not really doing much. And we were really good last year. And it's kind of a woe is me thing. Like well, we're gonna keep trying. Bryce Harper is a bit of a he's been a polarizing figure since he was in college and in high school, and he hasn't really learned the fine art of shutting the hell up. Like even during the World Baseball Classic, he said some odd things, but then him and Dombrowski have been getting in arguments, and him and the what the hell's his name, the commissioner have been bickering back.
Oh yeah, Manfred. Yeah,
Manfred. What's his deal? Like, if you were a psychiatrist and you had Harper on the couch, What would you ask him? Like, what's your deal, man?
I think it's not that he's played because you know me, we've made this pretty public. We're not the biggest Mike. I think Mike Trout's a douchebag, to be honest with you. That's my take on it. He's a Jersey guy, like he whatever. But I feel like it's not that Bryce has played in the shadow of Mike Trout, but it's almost like I think Bryce has never been that he's been close, but he's never been like the face of the league. He's been like he's the face of the Phillies, sure. But he grew
was
up
the face of the Nationals, and he was the face of Sports Illustrated. And
and now I hear a story which who knows what really went on, but I mean, telling the like when I heard that he told the commissioner to get the F out of here, like I've never been a big Bryce guy. I was almost more of a Bryce guy in Washington because I guess from afar and him coming.
You like his talent, but not his swagger.
Yeah, I went to an Orioles Nats game, and it was one of his first seasons, and I was like, wow, this kid's like, he's different. You could just see just the way he runs around the outfield, like he's just hair on fire. He plays the game like that. So, but as the years have gone on, and like this, and this whole, and I guess it's me being biased against him, but I'll see him on like his what is it, TikTok or Instagram or something, and he's making these like the most over the top coffee, over the top, like just enough, like just I don't know, go away. He's one of those just like shut up and play baseball to me. Like I just his personality, like I would be annoyed by this guy if I was his teammate and stuff like that. But I just feel like he's always been on the cusp of like, okay, I'm gonna be that guy, like the absolute top two best player or whatever. And he grew up being a Yankees fan, and I think them not going after him was interesting. But also, and I know it's a team sport, we've talked on this, but the Nationals winning that World Series the year he leaves, I mean, I think there's been a lot of outside things that have infiltrated him, and I'm not going to say he's insecure because I don't think that even computes with him. But when Dombrowski said he's not elite, and then he comes, that's really bothered me because the GM calls him not elite. I don't know if that's, I think he's using it as a motivational tactic, but then he posts a picture of he's wearing a hoodie. It says not elite. Then one of the first questions he gets asked when he goes to spring training is, I see you wearing that hoodie. Obviously that kind of, got to you or motivated. And he's like, they just gave me that to wear. Like, give me a break, man. That is the biggest horseshit lie of all you've ever heard. Like, just own it. Like, just say he pissed me off. Like, because then he goes on a podcast and he's like, oh, I'm not elite anymore. I'm not like, he just feel bad for like, woe is me. Like, it's just, I don't know. He's hard to like. He's just hard, in my opinion. Joey loves him. I'm like,
well, Joey would. Yeah. Like the guys who show off the most arrogance and the most this and the most that, and then woe was me afterwards. That's who they are. Like they're striving for attention, and they have, I don't want to say low self-esteem, but they go so far above what they show is who they actually are. And I think he does that a lot by having me out on the forefront all the time. Like, and this is petty. Like, it's super petty, but I don't give a shit. The eye black thing, enough, man. You're 30 whatever years old. You don't need Phantom of the Opera crap going down your face. That's just me. Like, guys, and how that started an entire generation of morons having all that crap on their face is a mystery to me. Like, you don't need it. And because you know what, you have sunglasses, put those on and you're good to go. I've never been a Harper guy, and him displaying how he displays things, and then when in the biggest stage which he's been on, this past week and a half, he's won for the tournament. And so, well, what are you? Is he talented? Yes. Is he great? Yes. But you know what? Baseball has that way of getting to you. Baseball has that way of humbling you a lot, and he gets humbled more often than not because he hasn't won anything. Yeah, I think he's got an MVP, and it's not always his fault. It's not his fault, but he hasn't got to the next level. He hasn't got to there, and that's my problem with Bryce Harper. And until you do something, you should probably close your yap, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just like I said, I kind of maybe I always go back to like I don't even see. I mean, I know Gunnar Henderson isn't Bryce level, but like all these guys, even Bobby Witt, maybe I'm not focused in on like these guys day to day,
Yeah.
but he finds a way to kind of make it about himself. And even like this
Yeah.
whole, like when he talks about Philadelphia and he's like, I wish I played my whole career here. Like, it's almost like to me, I mean, maybe I'm just because I'm a hater, but it's like he just has to say the thing that like because he walks on water in Philly. It's amazing. Like there are a couple guys.
Oh, really? I didn't. Well, you're obviously close there, so I don't. Yeah.
He just doesn't get the criticism that, like, I mean, they're very, very seldom. Like Carson Wentz for the longest time on the Eagles would never get an ounce of criticism. He finally turned, and then it was his fault. But it's just so bizarre. And then there'll be somebody that plays the game the right way. Maybe not Harper's skill set, but they will just ridicule this guy and drag him through the mud. And he's about the team. Like, you'll see, it's like this guy's about trying to win. Not that Harper's not, but I think Harper mixes like, I have to be the guy, and like we have to win because of me, and we have to win because I want to win. And this whole story came out when Gene Segura was on the team, and he was talking to a couple guys in Cleveland. This is just a month or two, right when Harper showed up to spring training. This came out right after that, and Segura's talking on the phone, and Harper's like, get the F out of my it was another one of those like, get the F out of my clubhouse, stop, this is my clubhouse. And I'm like, I just don't see, maybe I'm crazy for thinking this, but I don't see like Aaron Judge doing that to somebody. It could be like the lowest guy on the team, Austin, whoever, anybody. I just get the F out of my club. It's like, you don't own the Phillies. Like that's my thing. It's like he's hard to love. I mean, even liked most of the time, in my opinion. I felt that way for a while, and it just grows and grows. And sometimes sometimes I don't want him to win because of him. I'm like, I don't want that guy to win. He's a freaking.
A few weeks back, we were broadcasting a college game here, and then there was a kid who walked up with a short sleeve hoodie on, and blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't, like, that part of the story doesn't matter. And then the guy who's doing the color, he asked me, "What do you think of that?" I said, "Well, I think it's stupid." And I said, "If Derek Jeter wouldn't wear that, neither should that kid." Like, and I know I have Jeter on another level of Jesus himself. Like I do, but I don't think that's a bad take. That maybe if Jeter doesn't do this, maybe I shouldn't either. Not everybody's Jeter, and I get it. And he ended up in a warm pool of butter when he got drafted, and he had some hard times, but he had some pretty good teams to play with. But he carried himself pretty good throughout his career. I mean, it's 30 years since they won their first World Series back in '96, so a lot's happened since then. But I think guys like Harper need to take a step back, and times are different, things are different, but take a step back and go, well, if that guy's a Hall of Famer and win this many championships, maybe I shouldn't be a dickhead. Maybe I should keep my mouth shut. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I should, because you won't get any pushback if you're not a dickhead, right? Like, does that make any sense? Like, I don't see the need why Harper would feel the need. The guy makes a $40 million a year, whatever it is, for him to be the voice of minor leaguers coming up for the when the 2027 impending doom comes up. I don't think that guys who are making $500,000 a year are hoping that Bryce Harper is their spokesperson for the Players Association. Like, no one's like, this guy's got more money than know what to do with. And you're an idiot. You haven't done anything, not anything, but you know what I mean. And he's all of a sudden the voice of reason for all of us. Like, why is he talking to Manfred at all? Like, you're not speaking for the common man here.
No, and there's 2 points to that. Is he's repeatedly like made it public that he wants an extension, and his contract runs to 40 now. I'm like, you're insane. Like that's like when Penn State
play for $50,000 a year, and yeah, we'll sign you right now.
Yeah,
because that's what minor leaguers make.
Yeah. It's like that to me. I was like, that is blasphemy. I mean, it's never enough for these guys. I get it. Like, whatever, that's they're in that and they're getting fed that by their agent. But at the same time, now you're going to make it public that you want to play even longer, and you're already contracted till I think it is 39, but whatever, 40. And it's like, I didn't really have a massive problem with the GM coming out and saying like he's not elite. He wasn't elite, and like he said, do I think he could be elite? Yes, but I have to see it. Like maybe more GMs should talk like that. Like
I agree.
It's like and probably Dombrowski's probably tired of walking through the clubhouse and Harper's telling this guy to F off and throwing the bat over here. And I own the Phillies. I'm a co-owner of the Philadelphia Phillies. Like I'd get sick of it too. Like yeah, Billy Beane traded, Jeremy Giambi because he's like, I had enough of this clown show. Like, yeah, different level of players and stuff, but like you can only tolerate, these egos for so long. And like we only know the outside. Who only knows and like when it feels like when Rhys Hoskins left that team, they lost some leadership. That's the thing with Harper too. If you want to be the face of the franchise, like be the leader too. And I don't get that vibe from him either. It's almost like it's everybody's talked about it in the Philly media, and who knows, they might be off put, but it's like Bryce has his guys. Trey Turner's his guy. Kyle's his guy. If you're not one of his guys though, it's like good luck even talking to him because he threw Alec Boehm under the bus 2 or 3 times last year. He's like, we need a real cleanup hitter behind me. Like, come on, that is, if I'm Alec Boehm, I'm like, get me out of this horrible, environment. That's bullshit. Like that. I don't care what I'm hitting. You shouldn't call me out to the media. Like no. That is so Bush League.
I can't remember where I heard this, but like maybe it was a Yankee thing. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. But these guys think they're so untouchable and so above the game and so blah, blah, blah. The New York Yankees are going to survive. They survived when Jeter retired. They survived when Mickey Mantle retired. They survived when Yogi Berra retired. And when Judge is gone, they're still going to be the Yankees. I don't think that Bryce Harper thinks that the Philadelphia Phillies will be around when he's done. Like without him, the Phillies would just, well, I'm done. Close the doors.
Move the team or something.
What the hell goes to these? You haven't won anything. And we haven't won a damn thing. And you think you want, like, what are we doing? I would almost be, if I was Dombrowski, find a trade partner and say, get out of here.
Just the fact that like he's already thinking, like I'd be like, hey Bryce, I thought you were worried about this year. I thought you were, that it's always this year. We're focused on, every player in the league says it, no matter how they feel, right? They all right, we got to win this year. This is the only year I can control this and that. And then he's like, yeah, give me an extension on my 13-year deal. Like I don't know. There's been times I'm like, oh, I like that guy, but then it's almost like I see right through his nonsense, like it just, once you kind of get that this guy's a phony or he's all, it's hard to undo that. And sure, winning, like I said, he walks on water for the most part, for whatever reason that is. It's weird. Certain guys get that. I mean, Anthony Volpe gets drugged through the mud. I'm not saying they're the same player, but there's been probably worse Yankees than Volpe, and Volpe gets absolutely annihilated. I mean, every error he makes, it's like, this guy shouldn't even be in college baseball. And, you see it on Twitter. Like, it's weird how certain guys get that pass. And other guys are like, I mean, they could kill somebody. And it's like, okay, well, they're still Bryce Harper. It's like, well, okay.
I would never have thought that. Like, I've never been to Philly, but you read stuff over the years and everything else, how tough the town is. And the guy, deliver. I would never have thought that with Philly fans. I would never have thought that.
It's very far and few, but like, even, I mean, Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl and half the city still hates him. Like, it's just, explain it to somebody. You have to like see it to believe it. It's almost.
Because you listen to a lot of New York sports radio, and then you got Philly radio, and on it goes. And then you follow Baltimore. Out of the three, which are the most ridiculous cities that you're close to? That was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Baltimore is definitely the most forgiving. Like it's not even.
No, we're trying.
Yeah, like they give guys. I mean, they have their moments. Like I'm not gonna say they never. They definitely throw people under the bus and get angry, and it still happens. But it's not like trade this guy immediately today for a bag of chips because I can't stand him anymore. I would probably say Philly is a tick up from New York, but it's apples to oranges. Like it's close, But there, I mean, I remember like when people would call in about Joey Gallo on the Yankees to Michael Kay, and they would just, I mean, the stuff they would, I mean, it's classic, but my God, I mean, it's like at the end of the day, I get these guys are making millions too, so I'm kind of talking about both sides of my mouth, but like to wish ill will on these guys is a little bit like, all right, I get he sucks at he's not delivering or whatever, but like some of these fans are just like revved up. I mean, they just anything that goes wrong in their life, it just then it translates to.
I know you're not the biggest hockey guy. I know you probably don't know who 5 Toronto Maple Leafs are, but there was something on the airwaves in the last week and a half how there was players talking about how hard it is to play in Toronto. It's hard, and these were players who had never played there. They just heard secondhand news how hard it was to be a Toronto Maple Leaf because the pressure and the media and blah blah blah. And I'm on the thing that like these guys need to talk to the media about 3 minutes a day. Like, okay, yeah, we lost last night. Yeah, we're trying to get better. Say some unfounded clip, and you're done with it. And these guys are, and yes, I know that some people do have hearts and some people do have emotions. I'm not one of them. I am, but these guys are making 10, 12, 15, 30, 40, 50 million bucks a year. Do you think, Aaron, that maybe for that 3 or 4 minutes a day where the media is allowed to ask you a question about why you sucked last night is unfounded and maybe justified? You're making 40 sheets a year, and a guy who's making $22.50 an hour writing for a newspaper or a website that is never going to get looked at, and he says, hey, you weren't very good last night. Can you tell me why? Do you think there's a trade-off there?
I think it goes back full circle, like a Harper moment where you've been spoon-fed your entire life, and your dad's telling you, I'm sure some of these parents have some. I mean, I'm not going to blame parents for all of it, but they're like these people are
blame
below
parents.
you.
They're stupid.
Yeah, like these people are. Because I remember this Don LaGreca, a New York guy there on
I love
ESPN.
Don LaGreca.
Yeah, I do too. He was talking about the Giants offensive lineman was basically after the game, the media is right in his face, and he's like, these people want to criticize me, but they can't even flip burgers or whatnot. And Don LaGreca went on for like that's a viral clip. He's pounding the table and everything. Like, how dare you? We pay your parking, we pay your ticket prices, everything else, and you're gonna say we're not even and even the guys that are burger flippers, like you need burger flippers in this world to keep things going. Like it's just I think these guys look at their stature like I'm one of the very few in the NHL, or I'm one of the very few in Major League Baseball. So like these smucks, like who are these like nerds or whatever? Like it's a horrible way to be. I just think it's being realistic. I'm not saying everybody. I mean, as prestigious as, like I say, I mean, I go back to Judge all the time. It's like like the guy could be like the biggest asshole in the world, and people would still love him. And I've never seen him once. It is Jeter like. He doesn't like treat those people different. I mean, there's times he's like internally fuming, but
I've never seen him make a public mistake.
Yeah, he doesn't like. Don't
right. I mean, obviously, I don't see everything, but I've never seen him make a public mistake. I'm sure behind closed doors, I'm sure there's been a thing because I do it, you do it, my wife does it, my dog fucking does it, whatever. Where you say something on the side of your mouth that you think is funny, but it's not, and it's for public. It's not for public consumption. And it could be about my wife. It could be about the Greek heritage. It could be whatever it might be. But I've never seen Aaron Judge make that public mistake. And whether it be against the franchise he plays for, whether it be like the racial, which no one you shouldn't do anyways, and like, but it's just like, I wouldn't say he's perfect, but like he just doesn't. And
just his composure, because like I even watched them like when they lost to the Dodgers, and like you can tell he's and I think he has like maybe it's like a tendency, but he has this like smirk, and then everybody's like, oh look, he's not even mad, and I guarantee the guy like he cares. He ran through
well,
a
that
wall
one
in
that
LA,
he hit that shot to center field last night. That in the fourth, I think it was caught, and he kind of like, son of a fuck, I wish that would have went out. And he kind of tipped his cap, and it was a great catch, and there it went to Rodriguez caught it in the fourth. Yeah. And I think that's how it is. And I think that it gets lost a lot in the business. There it is, Jim Van the Van Plotner, Van the Van. The business of the game gets above some people, right? And your brand is bigger than things, and that's where Harper is. You're talking about TikTok and Instagram videos. Sometimes their brand is so big, whereas I think Judge, his brand is just, well, I'm making 50 a year. I don't need any more money. I'm fine.
And like when I was younger, don't get me wrong, I gravitated towards like the assholes, and like I was like, oh, that guy's a savage or whatever. Like I even like Donaldson. I used to love Donaldson because he's just a like menace, But then like as I've gotten older, I'm like, watching Judge, it's like I admire that, because like that is so. I think that especially in New York, right? Like you play in Philly, New York, Boston, like and conducting yourself like that's got to be one of the hardest things to just end day in, day out, and you're the face of the franchise. And like when he dropped that if I dropped that ball in center field in a World Series game, I would have thrown my glove in the glove would have been gone. I would have like probably ripped the jersey in half. Like, there's no way I'm staying composed in that moment, because like, it's just, you never think that's going to happen. And like he makes that catch 99 out of 100 times.
I'm going to let you know the secret here, Aaron. I make that catch 100 times out of 100. 100 times out of 100 in the 2024 World Series in Game 5, I think it was. I make that catch every time.
It's just
every time.
I wouldn't like if that was the moment where he completely like went psycho. I would have been like, I understand. Like
I get it.
Like that, World Series game. It's not a game in April against the White Sox. Like that.
Oh, if I drop that, I have a nuclear meltdown on television. Like I wouldn't care. And I think
I don't know how you don't. I really don't know.
People who know me well, like, yeah, Brent's a power sport. Yeah, that we expect that. That's what we expect to see. Yeah. Oh, I still can't. He catches that ball that goes to game 6, and who knows? Yeah, but yeah, he doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't walk on water. I mean, he's not a cheater, but yeah, it's just it's funny how you see guys who don't get to that parenting, whatever it might be. I don't know. It's odd to see that guys don't see themselves that way. And the older I get, you just go, oh, Jesus, can you just
and I'm not saying, because like you, I was just like, when I was playing ball, I would get mad like I was Brett Gardner type of guy. Like I really was.
Yeah.
But now, like, as I've seen Harp and like going through the league, you play 162. I'd have it hard pressed to be like, oh, if I was 24 in the league versus 33, I'd hope by 33 I wasn't the same guy. And not saying Harper is like, he doesn't charge the mound like he used to and completely berate every single umpire, but you can still see that like he never actually grew up all the way. And it's just like, it's a little cringe. It's just like, man, it's not all about you. It's just not. And Pete Alonso, to me, even though he went to the Orioles, he kind of has a little bit of that to me too. Like I don't know. Some of these guys are just odd. I mean, I guess you got to be an alpha to a certain degree to make it to that level, but I don't know. It's
you look at a guy like Bryce Harper, who's got talent around him to like everywhere. There's no reason why they shouldn't be going to the NLCS every year. Like it's up and down the lineup. They got everything. They spend 300 and some million bucks, whatever it is. And you look at a guy like Bobby Witt Jr., who's one of the best players in the game. If anyone should be mad after a game, it's probably him. He's probably like, what the hell more do I got to do? Like I'm just one person. I can't. I can only. I hit once every 3 innings. I can only do this. If anybody should be a dickhead, it's probably Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah,
That's just it's kind of
yeah.
came into my head, but
No, not to be like a homer, but you know how I follow the Orioles too. Like I
yeah.
see, like Gunnar plays the game almost like a young Harper to me. Like I don't, you'd be hard pressed to find a guy
I
that
like Gunnar.
hustles as much. Like the guy just plays with his hair on fire. Like and he's a guy that like, yeah, he hits a double and he's yelling and screaming, but like I think that's good. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. He injects that energy, and that's where like on the Philly side, their manager, Thompson from the Yankees, like.
He's a bad guy. I would manage in that team.
He's the most. I mean, he's the Michelin man. Like he's emotionless. He's a vanilla. Like he's like watching paint dry. The guy gets ejected maybe once a year, and he doesn't even like take his hat off. Like he's a horse shit to me. Like I'm so over that. But with like Gunnar last year,
It sounds like it.
like I've been that way since they like the year after they.
Yeah, I'm over it. Cocksucker, whatever.
It's just like everybody, he's a great manager. Well, look at what he has at his disposal. But like back to the Gunner thing is like no matter what that team looked like last year, I watched a lot of them and they fell. I mean, they had that horrible start, then they hung around to try and make a push. But I've never seen that guy take an at bat off. Like maybe he's done it, but I'll tell you one thing: I've never seen him not run out a ball to the fullest. And some of these other, like even Harper. I mean, yeah, he's in his 30s now, but. I've seen Harper take an entire at bat off where he just takes every single pitch. I've seen that, and I'm like, Gunner. I know Gunner's due for a contract. We'll see. Maybe once he gets that, will he be that type of guy? But to play on an Orioles team, which you got to think as a player, is this team really trying to win? And like Harper has a team that's trying to win. Like that's a different dynamic. Like and like I said, maybe Gunner will flatten out at some point. But are
they going to sign him? Like, that's a whole nother Jesus.
They need to sign him. They should have signed him by now. It's a guy you got to lock up. But.
If let's say 10 years from now, and this is completely hypothetical. You have Aaron Riley, Brilliant Sports has a Hall of Fame vote, and you get one vote.
That'd be cool.
One of the two guys getting in, Gunnar Henderson or Bryce Harper.
It's tough. I like Gunnar so much more. That's the thing. Like it's not even
okay. I'll change that. I'll change it because two guys I know you hate. Are you doing Mike Trout or Bryce Harper?
I almost like. I know the stats are probably going to line up, and that's the hardest thing about baseball, right? It's like it's a team sport, but then it's an individual like matchup or whatnot. But I mean, like if you look down the stats, Trout is like significantly better, but. He's never. I mean, I don't even think he's won a playoff game or at least a series. He hasn't made out of a series. And Harper has. I know his numbers in the playoffs this past season were horrible, but he has good playoff numbers. So that's really splitting hairs. I'd probably take Harper because I've seen him do it in the clutch, which matters more to me. But if I'm like, who's gonna put together a better stat sheet for sure? It's Trout. Like and Trout to me is kind of like he's a puss. I mean, he doesn't want to play for anybody that's in contention. Like if he retires as an Angel, like that's a mark. That's his fault. I don't blame anybody but him. Like, screw him for that.
Yeah, it's tough. And every time we talk, we talk about Bryce Harper or Mike Trout. We can find a way to hack on him a little bit, but we're into year one of him, and.
That's the thing about Trout too. He has such good numbers. If you inserted him in the Yankees lineup, somebody that Boston even, like he'd probably look even better. And he's like, nope, I'm good out here.
Or would he?
That's the thing. We don't.
I mean, the old saying is around the baseball world, the sports world, pressure is privilege. Well, I agree. I agree to an extent, but boy, oh boy, if I can play a 162 and no one's watching, and I can just go 1 for 3, 2 for 4 every night. All right, pay me 45 sheets a year. No one knows I'm playing on the East Coast when the game starts on the West Coast, and I'm great. playing a bunch of non-consequential games with no pressure, probably a lot easier to hit. No?
I would just, if I played that team, I'd walk him 7 out of 10 times. I'd be like, you know what? You're not going to hurt us. Like, make somebody else hurt. Like, who else? They have like Joe Adele, I think, who's decent. I don't know any outside of that.
Aaron, you could name me 300 prospects and players in the California Angels fucking roster, and I wouldn't want them more. Not a one. Like, all right, yeah, that guy, he's cute, whatever. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's, yeah. Anyways,
He could leave there if he wanted to. That's, in my opinion. I don't know how that trade clause thing works, but you would think by now, if he wanted to, if he had any desire,
he's never going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I get it. You sign a contract and you're committed, but I don't get it.
If you want to win, though, like that's the thing. You know they're not going to win. I mean, you're not fooling me, you know. You might fool the fan base, but
anyways. It's a lot of fun. Another fun show.
Always, yeah. Yeah, kind of got a little fired up there. I didn't really expect to, but
that's good. This is supposed to work. Yeah, it's good. What do you got going on? What's happening?
Just, trying to do this thing still and we've been throwing up pretty much a show a week, but yeah, I'm looking forward to baseball again, obviously. And St. Patty's tomorrow. It's always a good day. So
you going out?
Yeah, I think I will. Yeah.
Where's the go-to spot?
It's actually called the Sandwich Factory right down the street from from where I'm at. So
yeah,
convenient. I take convenience over. Because Tuesdays,
I
have a weird schedule. Like Tuesdays, I do kind of work in the evening, but I'll still, it's.
Oh yeah, convenience. I don't. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's but yeah, I'm excited. We're close to baseball again, and sometimes I felt like this winter wasn't going to end, and I'm not usually one to hate winter, but towards the last couple weeks, it's like, all right, it's dragging.
Penn State hockey, they're going to the Frozen Four.
Yeah, I think that's the women.
I didn't know that.
I know the women's are. I saw that. I don't know the men.
Yeah, that McKenna kid that came from Medicine Hat last year. He's okay. Did you hear that story?
Yeah, I was like, oh god.
Where he went for dinner with his teammates and his mom, and this kid's he's probably going to go first overall. Somebody called his mom a whore or something, and he knocked him out. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, because around
here, I want to hear like because you're a Penn State guy and everything else.
Yeah. And I've been trying to get. I like hockey. I don't ever commit.
No, it's hard.
To it.
I get it.
I don't know why I don't. It's like I don't commit myself. I guess but I watched them when they played because it was after that game that they played in Beaver Stadium in the football. Yeah. And I was like, this is a spectacle. Like I watched that game and I was like, holy shit.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah. And of course it looked like just like the football team. They had full control and then it all went to shit again. Like it embodied. It's like that place is like
Penn State, yeah.
I know Michigan State's better, quote unquote, but it was like 5 versus 3, I think. But I watched that game, this and that, and then it comes out later on that happens. And at first, like, because I'm constantly plugged into Penn State stuff, they're like Gavin McKenna, he's gonna get an assault charge. It was everything was bad. Like nothing. There was nothing.
He played up in Medicine Hat, where my wife's from. For a couple of years. So there's a tie there.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, and he obviously talks like a Canadian, lack of a better word. He has a Canadian accent.
It happens.
The whole thing. Yeah, I mean they're starting to bring guys down, which is, I mean, that's your sport. So, but yeah, when it first surfaced, I was like, oh my god, of course, Penn State, it's something going good for him, and then. Like, because it was like he assaulted somebody, like he's gonna go to jail.
I guess he broke the guy's jaw.
Yeah, and then it comes out like he's defending his mom, and then it starts getting some like traction as far as like he did the right thing, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, what else? I mean, the kid's probably running his mouth, drunk college kid in State College, like probably some dickhead, but I mean, by the end of the story, I was like, I like what he did, you know what I mean? Like, why are you picking a fight with a hockey player too? Like, I don't care how drunk you are, you kind of have to be a little aware that like that's not the guy you want to go.
Don't screw with hockey players. We're nuts. We're a little squirrely. Like I may be scrawny, but I'm squirrely. Like just look out. Go nuts. Yeah. So no, it was a cool story.
No.
Aaron, it's a lot of fun, man. It's good seeing you again.
Absolutely. Are you're you're a Leafs guy, right? Or you're
yeah, they're done.
I heard it wasn't going so hot this year.
No, it's bad. It's bad.
They lost somebody, right? That
Matthews got hurt and no one cared. And
was somebody not signed back or something that people thought, oh, that's a.
They should have kept Marner because 120 points hard to replace, and yeah, it was bad. And they should have asked me what they should have done because I would have told them, and they've been a lot better off. But it never works out that way.
It's a shame. They're usually in it though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but they've never won it in my lifetime. But whatever, it happens. It happens. Anyways, we'll have to do this again very soon, man. We don't talk enough.
Anytime, yeah.
All right, man.
I'll make time. So
there it is. The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 Beer Sports talking a whole lot more. Tonight's show, as always, brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code BellyUpSports. Save yourself $20 on your first purchase. And remember, it doesn't matter where you are; it's who you're with. Have a great night, folks. Aaron, it was fun, man. It was good talk. This was actually one of the very first times we've done this where there wasn't an actual script or like some more topics. This was good.
Yeah, WBC. That's about it.
Just talk. Yeah, make it work. All right, there it is. The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 Beer Sports talking a whole lot more. Thanks for tuning into the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 Beer Sports talking a whole lot more. Brought to you by SeatGeek. Go to bellyupsports.com for the best of sports articles and podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel or wherever it is you get your podcast. Let's get